At 2 p.m. in occupied Zaporizhzhia, 12 Ukrainian drones cut through the sky, screaming toward a Russian ammunition train accelerating along old Soviet-era tracks. Their operators, hidden underground, guide them at nearly 100 kilometers an hour. But none of them know that Russian artillery has already zeroed in on their location. The first 152-millimeter round slams into the earth nearly a kilometer away, shaking dust loose from bunker ceilings. The Russians detected the drone launch the instant all 48 brushless motors spun up at once. That sudden electromagnetic jolt lit up every sensor across 10 kilometers, as bright on their scanners as a flare in the dark. The Ukrainian operators face a decision: abort and live, or push forward while under fire. The drones need 12 minutes to reach the train. Russian artillery needs 3 to kill them. The choice is made. They continue. A nearby BTR armored vehicle spots the incoming swarm and opens fire, tracer rounds carving orange arcs through the afternoon air. The drones instantly break formation. 4 climbing, 4 dropping low, 4 punching straight forward. Russian machine guns rake the sky, but they cannot see the truth. Each drone drags behind it a fiber optic cable thinner than fishing line. While Russian jamming floods the airwaves with overwhelming noise, the drone's light-speed data pulses travel through glass, completely immune to interference. The multi-million-dollar electronic warfare system beneath them might as well be a metal statue. Meanwhile, Russian artillery finally pinpoints the operator's coordinates. The second round detonates closer, searching for them. But the Ukrainians prepared for this. Their control teams are spread across 3 bunkers, each spaced 500 meters apart, far enough that even a direct hit on one cannot harm the others. Even if 2 bunkers fall, at least 8 drones will survive. The math is brutal, but solid. Through the lead drone's camera, the target emerges clearly now. Thick diesel smoke trailing behind the heavy freight train as it rolls into a vulnerable 2-kilometer stretch of exposed track. The Ukrainians studied this zone for weeks. Their attack window will only last 97 seconds. The third artillery strike lands dangerously close. Shrapnel slices through the air at supersonic speed, severing the cables of 3 drones. They instantly fall back onto radio control and into the jaws of Russian jamming. The remaining 9, still linked by fiber optic cables, continue flawlessly. As artillery rounds begin hammering the bunker, the operators evacuate, sprinting through a connecting tunnel to a backup position. Behind them, another shell crushes the space they had just abandoned. The 3 radio-controlled drones now face their own nightmare. The Russian R-330ZH GTEL electronic warfare system detects the swarm from 7 kilometers away and unleashes a storm of electromagnetic energy. Every frequency from 100 MHz to 2 GHz vanishes under a tidal wave of noise. The 3 vulnerable drones drop offline instantly, but the 9 cable-guided craft continue as if nothing happened. Inside the GTEL's control cabin, confusion spreads. 9 drone signals remain crystal clear through a jamming field powerful enough to kill GPS, drones, radios, and even military communications across 30 kilometers. Russian troops trying to warn a Panzer air defense crew can't get a single word through. Their own jamming has blinded them. The drones press forward. The train accelerates to its maximum safe speed, 56 km/h. But the faster it goes, the farther the intercept point shifts. The operators must constantly recalculate, draining precious battery power. At checkpoint 9, A BTR crew opens fire, but the geometry is hopeless. The drones jink unpredictably, darting like hummingbirds. The gunner tries to track their fiber optic lines glinting in the sun, but the targets simply move too fast. Every shot misses. Then the Russian Pantsir S-1 detects the swarm. Its twin autocannons roar to life, sending airburst rounds into the sky. 2 drones vanish in fireballs. The remaining 7 scatter in 3 dimensions, forcing the gunner into an impossible tactical choice. He picks the easier targets, the high group, repeating the same mistake another Russian crew made only weeks earlier. The low-flying drones race onward, untouched. Russian infantry join the fight, firing rifles and machine guns, but the drones streak across their field of view in less than a second, too fast for human reaction. Meanwhile, 4 special-purpose drones dive onto the tracks behind the speeding train, deploying thermite charges that burn at 2,500 degrees Celsius. The rails melt into glowing puddles of metal, severing the escape route. The Pantsir overheats and must stop firing, opening a 12-second corridor of safety. The remaining drones push through, batteries draining into the red. Smoke from thermite-fed grass fires blinds Russian sensors, giving the drones the cover they need. As the drones break through the smoke, the train comes into full view. Wagon numbers, rust streaks, even the hazardous material warning on Wagon 22. The fiber optic cables reach their maximum length and detach automatically. The drones switch to battery power, now exposed to jamming, but far too close to stop. The train engineer sees them. He forces the throttles past their limits, but the wheels lose traction, grinding against the rails. The train slows instead of speeding up. The Pantsir cannot depress its guns low enough. Soldiers at the final checkpoint fire everything they have, even RPGs. But the drones fly perfectly aligned with the tracks, using the train itself as cover. To hit them, the Russians would have to shoot through their own wagons. 1 drone's battery dies, but physics carries it the remaining distance on momentum alone. The first drone slams into the coupling between the locomotive and the lead wagon. Its shaped charge erupts into a jet of molten copper moving at nearly 3,000 meters per second, slicing through solid steel like butter. 4 more drones hit in sequence, rupturing fuel lines, severing brake systems, igniting ammunition cars. Then comes Wagon 22. Inside, over 12 tons of thermobaric rockets had been slowly heating from vibration damage. The drone strike pushes them past ignition temperature. The result is catastrophic. A fuel-air explosion that turns 5 wagons into plasma and flings dozens more across the countryside. A towering mushroom cloud rises over the shattered rail line. In just 4 seconds, a handful of modified racing drones, costing less than $5,000, erase over $120 million in Russian equipment and cripple the only supply line feeding 3 mechanized divisions. The battlefield falls silent. The mission is complete.